Have you ever heard the quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with"? It's a simple statement, but when you really think about it, it's incredibly powerful. So, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? What do they talk about? What do they do with their time? What are their habits? And what are their mindset and their attitudes? You see, your circle shapes you. If you spend more time with people who love partying, complaining, stuck in a negative cycle of self-talk and all those things, you'll find yourself falling into those same habits. Your influence is the most important thing. It shapes your behaviors, your habits, and then ultimately your outcome. But on the flip side, if you surround yourself with people who focus on growth, hitting the gym consistently, eating healthy, then you'll find yourself rising to those same standards. You'll start adopting their mindset, their habits, and you'll start improving in ways that you might not even. Here's an analogy I like to think about. It's better to be a small fish in a big pond than a big fish in a small pond. You see, if you're surrounded by people who are successful, who are where you want to be, then you're in that environment and you're forced to grow and level up into that same level. However, if you're in a small pond and a small environment where you're restricted of your growth, then you'll plateau and stay mediocre and stay at that exact level. So you may be thinking, is my environment hindering me or benefiting me? It's a tough question to ask, but it's such an important one. You see, I'm not saying you need to let go of people, cut them out and never speak to them again, lifelong friends you've had, just because they are negative influence. But maybe, just maybe, minimize your time with them. Because if you're constantly surrounded by people who don't have the same drive or values as you, then they're probably holding you back more than you realize. There's a quote I've heard from Chris Williamson that I highly relate to. It goes, "There comes a time in your life when you've outgrown your old set of friends, but you aren't quite developed enough for your new set of friends. This phase is heavily uncomfortable. You're stuck in between two worlds. On one hand, you want to go back to those old friendships, and on the other, you feel deep down that they no longer serve you. And trust me, that awareness is the first step to growing and changing your environment. Even though it's painful in the moment, realizing you've outgrown certain people is one of the first steps towards true growth." Jim Rohn has a good way to evaluate and move towards better relationships and associations. So there are 3 ways to categorize your relationships. First, dissociation. You can dissociate from the people that are holding you back and just not associate with them anymore. Number 2, limited association. That is, some people you may enjoy spending an hour with, just going for a lunch, but their negative speaking or the things they talk about, it doesn't really align with you, but you still enjoy some conversation with them. So you limit your association to maybe just that 1 hour rather than a couple days. And number 3, the most important one, is expanding your association. This is where the magic happens. This is when you find people who are doing what you want to do, achieving what you want to achieve, and becoming who you want to become. Or even just someone that's a few steps ahead of you. And these people will inspire you, challenge you, and help you grow. And these are the people that ultimately you should be chasing. So I just ask that you reflect on your circle, maybe decide who's good for you, who's not, and even ultimately figure out your values and see if they align. And are these people helping you move towards the best version of yourself or holding you back? If not, it may be time to rethink who you're spending your time with. And remember, your environments shape your outcomes. So thank you for watching, and if you gained any wisdom from today, please like and subscribe. Peace.